Rings. Okay. All right. Going to the Orion Council energy. They have kind of beaten to death the whole weather war situation. So that's why I'm going to the Galactic Wars instead. It just feels like I needed to tap into that for some bizarre reason. Obviously, many are entangled into that. Is that why the world is the way it is? You can say it's part of it, but also it's just human energies. It's just humanity's going through what's going through. So energy purge, you can blame all the energy weapons and all of that, but still, it's where humanity's energy is at right now. And some are going through their victim um, themes in their lives. So they have to blame the government and everybody and whoever else, everyone but themselves, are doing their own clearing. So, it's just the natural path of where the world needs to go. So, this hurricane, at least the hurricane was, it was even an earthquake in California, which is kind of odd timing when the storm was hitting. So it's just flood. This is just flooding. It's not, being lasered. At least, or if it was, they didn't show it. So you never know about that. Yeah, we are in some bizarre times for sure. I mean, I think these things have been going on forever. It's just nobody really. We didn't have the internet, so that's what's going on with that. I mean, this has been going on since the dawn of time, since galactic beings connected to the world. So we'll never get the full story of it. Yeah, cloning, the geoengineering stuff, underground bases. It's all just hearsay. We'll never really know. I mean, we might be tapping into the right things, but you can't verify it. I mean, you can verify it with your own energy that you believe it. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, there are others that are in the land of delusion and will stay there for eternity. Fritzy's here on the prowl. Bristol is over there taking it easy, giving the background a break. Ow. Cat. What can I do with you? Come here. Yeah, she ran off. Taking a nibble out of my foot. Yeah, talk about distracting. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Catch it. There she is. Just trying not to let her kill me. There. She's in the co-pilot's chair now. Maybe she'll stop biting my foot off. So, all right. Galactic War energies will just tap into, I don't know, some go way too far on it. They're obsessed with aliens and all that. There's probably therapy out there for that. Speaking of therapy, so the astral therapist, I felt some of those energies of what that was going to be, but it kind of went quiet. So we'll just see what that turns into. You'd be surprised how many actually need therapy. A lot, especially those that are UFO obsessed. But they're obsessed with UFOs, but not obsessed with themselves. And there's just a lot of imbalance there that can't be balanced if they want to balance it, or just be tortured the rest of your lives. So, obsessing with others, obsessing with the aliens, obsessing with the Anunnaki, and blaming them for everything. It's like, geez, just let it go. Just let it all go. Who cares? It's like, whatever. Still got to deal with yourself. I mean, if you're dealing with yourself, that's a big deal because many aren't doing that. They're focusing on the secret space program or something else. It's not good. like another psyop there. So anyway, yeah, the council, Orion Council energy, that's more of the neutral connections. Yeah, I've been connected to them for a couple of days now, but different. This is more like subject matter of, giving them more of the floor, as they say, to let them just say what they need to say, whatever it might be, give some clarity. Yeah, they are here. Obviously, there's many that are not so great. The chosen ones, as they call themselves, manipulating reality, very arrogant. Yeah, Orion energy is. Yeah, well, I'll go into too much into that. To just usually it's some snobbery going on with them. It's not everybody, but there is definitely feel like they're like kind of like some of it's like sort of like the Masons. Not all Masons are Orions though, but either way. All right, I'm not sure if I even set everything up. I forgot. Okay, I'll just do it real quick. Okay. Yeah, Canadian fires. That's all. Just it's not good. But I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen this year. That's for sure. At least at this time, at least. I was having time to come to private sessions. I have a scheduler. I have a shop here. So about that. And it's kind of like they're terraforming the planet to a certain level, but still human consciousness that's in charge, and if you don't always feel that way. So yeah, it's like they show all these the houses and the cars all burned up, but the trees are fine. So, jeez. Yeah. I'm not sure if they care about that, but minor detail. Maybe the trees are fireproof. Then again, look at California or Canada or California. They're not that fireproof. So, yeah. So, okay. All right. We're going to the Orion Council and see what we have here. Somebody's great. Spoke to you soon. Yeah. All right, so we're going to Orion Council and everything else. So, all right, blessings. Greetings to you, the Orion Council. Yes, we have feline connections. Also, elephant beings that are connected to us is a various different connections of basically we're very connected to your Africa. Of course, we're very connected to your world, but Africa is a connecting point. Well, basically, has a lot of secrets there. Will most likely remain that way for some time. So a lot of your knowledge has been buried, and slowly you are getting some insight into it. There's a lot of DNA energies going on. There's a lot of distractions happening, as you see there. But there is just a new energy coming onto the earth. Well, basically, you're opening up to a new era. So the earth has to change with it. Doesn't mean your continents will change as of yet. Your humanity has to be at a different frequency altogether. It's still kind of old. I mean, the continents are connected to the old world, so it's still holding on to the old earth. Eventually, it will change, but not anytime soon. Basically, you'll just see a massive earth change. And of course, yes, some are going to go through their victim mentality, and that's always going to happen here on this planet because they're not ready for what's occurred. But those that are advancing their energies will assist it in its global change. They just won't worry about it. And many are not worried about it currently. Obviously, if you're living in those places where the fires are occurring, yes, that's a big deal. But it is a wake-up call for those that need to be awakened to what's, and many are not. They're just either going through the victim side of themselves, or just they're still part of the human element, which is not a bad thing. But also seeing the corruption that's going on. So not everybody has to see everything clearly. Not on a galactic level. I mean, not everybody's going to be met, but those that are galactically connected has to become a little bit more aware. And not everybody's going to see the aliens, and doesn't mean you're better than them, because many do feel that way. Because many do, yes, get connected to the aliens and get lost there, and almost get cornered. Because there is a psyop energy with even the aliens in the higher dimensions. And many feel like they're advancing spiritually, but they're also being corrupted. And there is a lot of corrupt alien beings here too, and that is what's fueling a lot of your cults. Well, they have basically aliens with issues, and they're here as human, and they haven't quite healed that. I mean, they can remember their galactic lives, and they're probably ignoring their own issues. But yes, a lot of them come here arrogantly, but they feel like they have all this galactic knowledge, so they're ahead of humanity to a certain level. And yes, they have a lot of ego issues. And a lot of them end up coming back over and over again also. Because they're just too proud to heal themselves. They might feel like they're elite energies. There's some of that. They're just very, snobbish frequency. And these are the star seed. There are stars. Just because you say it's star seed doesn't mean they don't have problems. And there's many that do have problems, but they're not about to heal many times soon. They're more like keepers of knowledge, basically to get others to follow what they feel is right. So that's what creates the cult mentality. So it's just this, and many do feel like this is their home also, because of the low frequency, about to move to a higher dimensions. Like they live in the lower fourth dimension, will stay there for a very long time. It's like they want to reign over this planet, because it's at such a third dimension. So if you're a star seed being, you're not about to heal yourself, but you're part of a manipulative energy. You're going to do everything you can to keep the narrative, the program going, because they want to feel like they're above society, humanity. And it's not something that's talked about. Probably won't be talked about very often. They don't like being talked about. And these are just regular starseed beings that just have an ego problem. And yes, I feel like they're the only ones going through this, and so on. Yes, there's a massive ego energy that's out there. And many are not quite seeing it, but they're opening themselves up. They have no idea they're dealing with egotistical starseed beings. Not all of them are egotistical, but quite a few are. Well, they're just not, they're usually hidden. Not ones to get too much attention to themselves. So eventually once again, this is what's fueling the cults that are out there. So if you find a cult and an alien cult, that's where their energies are. They have a place where they hide, you can say, where they can just continue with their arrogance and just hibernate there. Well, there's lost, you can say they're lost beings, lost star seed energies. That's probably a better way of saying it. And they just keep gravitating to worlds similar to this one. Once again, they want to reign over it to feel like they're stronger than others. But yeah, it is a vicious energy there, and has not been quite healed. So it's not just your elites, may blame them for everything. You'd be surprised others that are fueling the manipulation on this planet on a fourth dimensional level. Once again, these starseed beings do have advanced energy. They remember their star lives, but they're not about to, like I say, to heal themselves. That's not happening. Not all of them. Some of them have Orion connections. They have this Syrian Palladian. It goes on. But it's just something. There's just areas there they're just not willing to clear. Blessings. greets you, the galactic ambassadors of your solar system. Yes, there are some channelers. Yes, I feel like they're controlling your reality or whatever it might be. Galactic ambassadors that say they're galactic ambassadors when they really aren't, but they're here in a physical form. But so, yeah, there's some soul manipulation there. Well, is that some that might claim that they are on a physical level? Is that soul still the original soul? Because they have been most likely been tampered with to some level. I mean, because they're a galactic ambassador and not manipulate people and just be a nice person. But others have agendas and try to hide it. Yes, their eyes change color, usually dark colors, like there's some kind of possession there because there is. Well, it's basically now the avatar of the body is now easy to be controlled. It's like, and that you're going to find more and more of that. You already see that with your politicians. And now you're going to see more of your galactic spiritual leaders, if you have not seen it already. It's the same thing. Maybe not as advanced as your politicians. It doesn't have to always be that. Well, it's not always perfect with that either, but it's similar. And that's going to become more frequent. Did that person change? Did that another soul come through? Of course, others are going to go through their own conspiracy theory thought, and they might see a difference there anyway. I mean, they might be right also, but some are going through their own issues. But you're going to see more of that as the spiritual community gets stronger and basically taking over your religious aspects. Of course, religion is going to exist, but still the galactic knowledge is going to increase rapidly. You're going to see some of your starseed leaders are not what they seem to be anymore. They have all these agendas. Yes, UFO obsessed. And you can say some of that is part of your fake alien invasions, or you're kind of going through it already through a spiritual level, like over pushing this whole UFO narrative. So some of you are already tapped into it. Yes, so just keep putting on the even with your governments, the UFO phenomena, that is like the fake alien invasion at a small tier. It's not as heaviest, but they're trying to figure out a way of making it more mainstream. They just haven't quite figured out the secret sauce to make it happen. We are seeing the beginning stages of it. When you see like the alien psyops that are going on currently with trying to go into the mainstream, but not really getting anywhere. Because they have not quite found their, you could say their galactic ambassador or their trickster, their human trickster with the charisma to bring it in. So, and it's going to be more on a spiritual level. It's not necessarily going to be on a physical level as of yet. It's going to, just by basically just, once again, using charisma to attract. And it's already working now. We're going to see heavy hitters more in the future. It's going to be very surreal as your world becomes more galactic. And now they're going to see their own version of what's happening out in the astral realms. In the fourth dimension, they want to see what they want to see. But as long as they have charisma, many will fall for it. It's just the way it is. That's what some of you have already tapped into this, you already see it, and that's good, but others are already trapped in it and been deceived, just like any other church preacher traps somebody. It's the same deal. It's already been going on. It's like your we'll just say the preachers, your galactic preachers. And it's going to get worse and worse, unfortunately. Well, some of you already noticed it, but it's not going to stop because humans give away their power too easily. They give their power to drugs very easily. Why not give it to some galactic ambassador that just has charisma, makes them feel good, looks nice, and really doesn't know what they're talking about. There's a lot a person that doesn't know what they're talking about, as long as they sell the package of it, doesn't really matter, it seems. They come flocking for it. Those that are not quite understanding all of this yet. So, well, you can be trapped in astral, you can be trapped here also. So they can get you astrally and you can trap you here physically. At least for the agenda. That's what's happening currently. But even in the fourth dimension, it's still not easy there either. Just because you're a galactic being doesn't mean you're out of the woods. Far from it. Beings still don't see it there either. So they feel like they're on the right path and end up being deceived. It happens all the time. Let's just... Grease you, the Pleiadians, astral therapy energies. Well, the idea is also for some individuals to let go of their fears. Many are becoming very fearful and being pulled into this galactic, nonsense that's happening here. It's always going to be happening. The astral realm is not perfect. It's far from it, but that's what makes your world so fascinating. Because what happened in your world happened in the fourth dimension, and it bled into the physical realms eventually, as you know, which in some ways created a soul trap here. Well, it's a university, you can say. It's a library. It's more of a university. It's rehab for a lot of souls, basically. Was like, what can you get yourself? Because there is a lot of souls trapped here, and they don't know where to start healing themselves. Or doesn't mean you have to know about aliens or anything like that. Some feel like they have this place all figured out. Obviously, that's almost impossible when you get down to it. Some are becoming, spiritual entertainment beings, where they're not really doing the spiritual work. They're just mostly doing because they're just kind of like an archaeologist. They're kind of excited about certain things. They're not seeing the full spiritual impact. Basically, they might be looking for information, but they have not quite healed themselves. Let's put it that way. They're looking for this. They're looking for all this secret information. They have all this knowledge, and they have not once healed themselves. They might say they have, but not really. It's like they put all of this, distraction around them so they can hide behind it. Make them look fancy, you can say. So there's a lot of that happening, because really the knowledge is basically, it can be very simple. It doesn't have to be glamorous either. Like, as some of you know, it's like you have, the villain can be the most flashy being, have all the friends, look pretty and all that. And it's like manipulating your reality. And then those that are innocent beings, basically just very, kind of like a carpenter, living a simple life, doesn't have a whole lot of money, doesn't have a lot of friends or anything, but just going to the simple, life of it oneself and clearing out all the clutter. And there's just a lot, it's sometimes better just to reset yourself and just go to the simple things in life, which many are not doing. You can do a lot of fancy things, that's fine. But I think that's to live the simple life. Not everybody's up for that, but it's still good to do a reset. Because many are actually trying to show off, even with information, like galactic information. I'm trying to show myself off all the time and hide themselves. How many times do you hear about celebrities that say they had a great celebrity life, but then in the long run they had a lot of issues, and they don't find out until after they pass? That same thing with the spiritual community. It's the same deal. It might not show itself. Some of you are picking up on it. Well, it's like you need this deep information, you need that information. Is it really all of that? I mean, it might be somewhat interesting, but really comes down to is the soul, and are you on your path? Are you clearing out all the blockages to a certain level? Are you making, you might not like your direction you're going in, but you're you're handling it without going crazy, without doing drugs, without being taken off course. That's really what's the most important, is that you might not like your life, your direction, but you're making it work the best of your ability until things start to change and you can finally relax and feel more you're on target. But the idea is to live a life that you really don't want. And how you deal with that? You don't hear that with the galactic information. No.